So we have our playoff tonight, and so what we're going to do is you two are going to play against each other, and we're going to walk through and talk through everything, but there's a few ground rules that I want to lay out. First of all, if you want to win in a tournament or a playoff situation, you have to exude confidence. And both of you have a tendency to do the, what do they call it, the 1 mile stare among soldiers? So both of you are capable of walking up and just staring at the table like it's a Rubik's Cube and you don't know where to start.
That's because we got your voice. We got your voice.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But what you have to do is be crisp about it. If you're taking more than 30 seconds to figure it out, you're not going to figure it out any better. You're really not.
Okay.
There are 3 or 4 questions that you're asking. You walk up to the table and go, can either one of us get out? Can I get out? The answer is usually going to be no, unless you're down to 2 or 3 balls, because you guys are both skill level 3s, and you're not going to run 4 or 5 or 6 balls in a row. So you can look at that table, especially early in the game, and go, I'm not going to get out, and if I'm playing a 3 or a 4, he's probably not going to get out either. So I don't have to fret or worry about making a ball. I have to ask myself the question, what's the best table position I can get? So is there a shot that I can make? Okay, what's my percentage chance of making that shot and getting on my next ball and not screwing myself over? It's 50%. Okay, how about this? Can I get safe? And I actually encourage you while we're practicing here to think about the safe first. Where's the safest place on the table for the cue ball? Because that tells you which one of if you do want to make an object ball, which one should you shoot? The one that if you miss it, leaves you safe is the one you choose. So especially when you can't get out. Each player has 5 or 6 balls on the table. There's almost a 0.0 chance that either one of you is going to get out if they're a 4 or less. Almost 0. So you don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about positioning your balls. So the next thing is, what can I do? So can I make a shot? How many shot options do I have? What's the percentage chance for each one? This is a 50-50 shot. That's an 80% shot. But the 80% shot doesn't leave me a second shot, and that one does. I might choose that one. And then, how can I leave my opponent safe? In other words, make things difficult for my opponent. And the other thing that you're thinking about is, how can I reposition my balls so the next time I walk to the table, I have better options? So let's say these are your 2 balls here, and you've got balls spread around the table. A simple thing like this can make all the difference in the world. Now, I didn't succeed then, but the next time I try, now I've got the 7 ball open. And that's a big deal. You may not feel like you pocketed anything or you accomplished anything, but you accomplished a big deal if you broke your balls out and did not leave an opponent a shot. And then the next time you get the ball, you might go, oh, okay, I don't want to make that ball because the only other one I have is the 3, and it doesn't go anywhere from there. So I'm not going to try to pocket that ball. I'm going to knock it over here closer to that pocket. These are the kind of things that you should be able to get within 20 or 30 seconds. So this 1 minute stare down adds confidence to your opponent. It adds every time they see you looking confused and dazed, they're more confident.
Yeah.
Now, Bill, you're very likely to be a sacrificial lamb tonight, and here's the reason.
Yeah.
If you play their best player, you can win a point by just winning 1 game.
Yeah.
And I probably can't win a point against him, right?
Yeah.
He's probably going to beat me.
Yeah.
And so it's not because I'm scared of him. I play with him all the time. It's because I want the team to win. But here's why you are the sacrificial lamb, because you're used to playing a better player like me, and you know you've beat me many times.
Yeah.
So you know you can do it. So
Yeah, I know as the season has gone along, it's been clear that that's what your strategy was.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get points for the team,
Yeah.
not to show off or try to beat Kevin or
Yeah.
Jason or any of those
Yeah.
guys. I'll play them here.
Yeah.
But in league, there's much better ways to do it. When you have a player that's pretty good and you're very good at winning games, you figure out how to win quite often. If you can get a game in, you've done a big deal for the team.
Yeah.
If you can win one game. If I win one game, it means nothing for the team.
Yeah.
And the other guy has to win more games, so that's more chances for Bill.
Absolutely, yeah. And by the way, Loveless got beat the other night by Sandy Guys right here.
Yeah.
So it can be done. And just to update you, this is exactly how it came out that night. My brother Bill was played against their best player, my good friend Kevin Loveless, and Bill managed to get one game from Kevin, which gave him a point, and Kevin only got 2 points. Meanwhile, if I had played Kevin, chances are he would have beat me 5-3 or 5-4. I might have gotten a point, I might not have, but I went ahead and played a lower handicap player and obtained 3 points for the team. This strategy worked out beautifully, and we advanced to the next playoff and won the second playoff using the same types of tactics, and now we are eligible for LTCs in APA. Now we see that Bill has won the leg, so he will be breaking as we start this mini match between Bill Brauker, my brother, and my good friend Karen Scovey. So Bill is breaking from the center of the table using the cushion for a bridge. That was a decent stroke. He didn't break them up too much. They're going to be clustered at the foot end of the table. We need to work on Bill's break a little bit. I see his tip came up out of the shot a little bit. I think for amateurs, a very well-controlled break where they're just using a pendulum stroke and not using the upper arm is far more effective because it creates accuracy and you can really open the balls up with good accuracy. On the other hand, it's often a bad idea when you're playing against a more highly skilled player, which Bill will be doing tonight. It's not a bad idea to do a soft break and make it difficult for them to run out. Now Bill made quite a nice shot there. It was a long shot, but he got his cue ball way up table, and I'm not sure what he can see from here. From this view, it looks like pretty much it's the 6 ball is the only ball he can see. Whether he's going to play safe or cut it in a pocket remains to be seen. Looks like he just tried to bump it and play safe, and he did a pretty good job. He's got the cue ball fused up against the 15 ball there on the end rail. This will be difficult for Karen, but Karen's a very good pocket maker, and she may be able to shoot that stripe near the foot spot down into the corner pocket. If she does so, she's likely to have some other shots. But she should also consider playing safe with this opportunity. Okay, what do you got?
What do you mean, what do I got?
What have you got?
Well, I was going to shoot at
No,
the
what have
9.
you got? Stripes or solids?
I have stripes.
Okay.
I was going to shoot at the 9 because if I shoot at the 11 down there and I miss it, that leaves the ball down in here. And
Yeah.
I get too many choices.
I think that's great. So once you decide that, you just go and do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to think deeply about it. I'm trying to get both of them to play more crisply.
Yeah.
Standing there like a deer in the headlights only gives confidence to your opponent.
Yeah. And it doesn't accomplish
And
it.
it doesn't accomplish anything ever. So there you go. This is perfection right here. And the fact that you missed it is perfection. This is perfection. Anytime you can get that cue ball on the end rail, we do that all the time in one pocket. That's one of the main goals of every shot is to get the ball on the end rail.
Far away as you can.
Right, and as much distance as you
So
can.
that was my strategy, was to leave a lot of blue between him and the ball.
It worked.
Okay, Bill,
My
so
strategy is going to be to just lightly hit the ball up here.
I think that's great.
And just try and
That's
leave it
exactly how you need to be thinking. That 4 ball has a nice pocket. You don't want to move that.
there. Yeah.
But you'd love to get that 5 ball out a little further, and you'd love to put the cue ball where? Exactly. Right here, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right back here.
Good thinking. You guys can do great for the team if you keep thinking like this. Right, Robin?
Right.
And we got our opponent standing over there listening to everything I'm saying.
Oh, you wanted to hit it more on the left, though.
Not quite.
No, I don't mind at all, Steph. You know I don't give a that much about.
I just listen for your tips and tricks.
Good.
Alright, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. And leave the cue ball.
That's great, because that 11 ball is not makeable. And that's the right pocket to go to.
Makeable there.
Okay, now you can actually think about getting out here because you're a good enough shot to get out. Although the 15 ball is still difficult.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I can hit that one in, but that's not gonna leave my cue ball.
That doesn't help you. The 13 ball, though, does.
Right.
The problem is if you miss it, you leave the 4 ball for him.
But if I miss it, I'm blocking the pocket, and I can possibly bring that cue ball like
Yeah.
right in here.
Yes.
And hit that 10 if the 13 goes.
Yeah, but you just want to softly roll it. Yep. Okay. It's okay, that's going to happen. It is. You're going to miscue when you're... That's going to happen when you're trying to do a draw shot. Remember, think about that lower arm being the only thing that's moving. The only thing that's moving is the lower arm. And just drive it through it. Just send that through like you're throwing a spear at an elephant.
I made the last one I made in the pocket.
Good. You're doing this like you're throwing a spear at a mastodon. You're letting go of the spear. So I was a little busy with Stephanie while this was going on. I think Karen made the right choice to grab that bridge and use it, but I wish I'd noticed because I would have helped her with her technique on stroking with the bridge. But we will get to that at a later date, maybe even later in this video. Now Karen has decided to shoot this 9 ball, and it looks like I don't think that's the wisest decision. I'd rather have her play safe off the 15. I think her plan is probably to come off the stripe that's at the bottom corner there and try to get the 15. I doubt that she'll be able to pull that off. It's a very narrow window for that. And she actually followed that ball into the pocket. So I think that was an unwise choice. I think she could have easily left her opponent safe by bumping the 15, or at least forced him to take a long shot at the 4 ball. Okay, so Karen, I don't know what you did, but you've left your problem ball as being the only ball on the table. Yeah, okay. But you shouldn't have made another ball while that ball's still here, because that's your problem ball. You want to get that ball where you can make it before you get rid of your other ball, because he can now hide that cue ball easily. Where if you had another ball on the table, he wouldn't be able to hide it on you as easily. So leaving a problem ball and getting your other balls off the table is almost always a mistake. Because I'll tell you where the cue ball is going to end up. After he makes this shot, cue ball is going to end up right here. And you're screwed. Right, Bill?
Well,
that's your plan, right?
And not to make the 4, just knock it over there.
Well, I would make the 4, but because you're going to get ball in hand. You got about a 90% chance of getting ball in hand right now. You pocket that 4, roll up here, and then just bump the 6 ball. And you left yourself open to that by shooting that other ball off the table. Otherwise, you'd have 2 targets to shoot at. This is so critically important. It happens in every other game.
Oh, I didn't.
So,
Okay, now Karen, he's left you an opening. It's not a pretty thing because you only have 1 ball left on the table. But you got to go for it at this point. Oh, here's what you could do.
no, I could just,
You can just bump that 15 ball and leave the cue ball right there. Yep. That's your best.
I was gonna bump it on this side and put the cue ball right there.
No, 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 no. You want to bump it on this side because that puts it out in front of the pocket and leaves the cue ball right here. It's much easier to leave the cue ball right here by rolling straight at that than it is trying. Whenever you try to cross it, you have about a 50% chance of scratching in this pocket.
Leave the cue ball there.
Yeah. You're just shooting straight at this ball and barely bumping it.
Yeah, I was pumped.
Just like that. Now, if you try to come across the top of that ball, you start out with a 50% chance of scratching. Really, it's that bad. It's so hard to come across the ball and not hit that pocket. And if you don't scratch, you're probably going to bounce out here and leave him the 4 ball. But by doing it this way, you nailed him.
Where's Eddie?
And Bill's really good at this part of the game. He's probably already got this figured out.
He usually here right at 11. Pretty close.
Yeah.
I didn't see it on the ship. One day.
And that is the correct shot.
Yeah. Weird.
So now you're on your own. You're screwed, Karen.
You don't know that.
Where's the best place for you to leave the cue ball?
Behind the 8 ball.
Yes, right up in there somewhere.
Met some really good people at one time down to 7.
That's going to work too.
Pretty good.
I love it. I think we all talked about it too. Girls from Avon.
And this sort of thing can go on for 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. What matters is whether you win the game or not whether you made a bunch of balls in the interim. This is such a struggle for people to get that this is okay. This is all we do in one pocket is this kind of thing.
He said he was just.
Well, I did this to that kid.
Yeah, this is what you want to do. And Bill's still screwed. He can't get the 3 ball.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make that 15 until that 8 ball's makeable. Now, in this case, if you happen to have the ball right now, let's say you had ball in hand, you could pocket that ball somewhere like there and get the cue ball here and make the 8 ball. But in general, the concept is that you don't want to make your 15 ball unless you can make the 8 ball too. You want him to be the...
I can't chase that 15 forever.
Yes, you can. You can chase it 50 times in a row. No, you can chase it all day long as you don't leave him a shot.
Well,
And eventually, if you keep chasing it, he's going to have to do something.
Right.
And usually, Bill's not going to do this, but usually the low handicap player, he'll run those other 2 balls off and then he'll break the 3 ball open, just like that guy did the other night for you. Mm-hmm. That's what they'll do most of the time. Leave it be. Don't try to make something happen.
The other night when I was playing, I was doing that, and you looked at me and said, sooner or later, you got to run out.
That's because that showed up. Sometimes you have to run out. That you had nothing left that you could do, except
No more defense.
there's a time when all your balls are open that you can run out, but your balls are not open now. So this is not a time to
So
run.
when you see that, when it's time for me to run out, you need to say, go.
Well, I will.
Go. Because I'll just keep bouncing them around the table.
Well, I'd much rather have that be your default than to try to make balls.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. I hear you.
Because right now I can tell you, Bill I'm going to move that ball back, Bill. Bill just played a great safe on you.
Yeah, I see it.
Most low handicap players are going to shoot that ball in and then shoot this ball in, and they're going to try to break that ball out, and they're going to fail at that 90% of the time. And then you just bump your 15 ball and make them break that ball out. And that's exactly what happened with the 11 ball. I know you don't remember it the other night.
I remember.
The 11 ball was right down here, clustered up. And I said, watch this guy. He's going to run off his balls, and then he's going to look at that and go, now what do I do? Break it out, and then you ran 4 balls in a row and won. And so, yes, you can knock that 15 ball around all day long. You can do it 10 times in a row, 20 times in a row. And I do sometimes. I've had games where I will just keep bumping that ball until, and you get that other person more and more frustrated, and you want them frustrated. So Bill did a great save here. He sent the, where was the 5 ball at?
It ended up about in here somewhere.
Okay, so
It was more like over here, like.
now this is one of those times when you just have to, you have to kick at your ball and make it. She didn't have access to her 15
No, I
ball.
didn't. It
Yeah,
was like
it was
here.
like that, yeah.
Because I was looking at, okay, now what am I going to do?
So you have to, you know, you got to suck it up. You can't do any tricks now. You have to try to hit that ball. And
So
you have,
I'm terrible at banking.
you have to hit, but this is where I will do a timeout for you. And we're going to do one right now. But the point is, when you have a kick like this, I'm going to call a timeout.
Okay, good.
And we'll figure out how to kick it. But you have to kick it hard enough that after you hit that ball, something goes to the rail. And one big mistake that people make is they kick that too soft. And they go, oh, I hit it good.
Yeah.
And then nothing goes to the rail.
Right.
So here's what, can I see your stick? We're doing a timeout now. So you're going to aim, and you have a good chance of making this, by the way. You have to hit the center of the cue ball, and you want to hit a little high on the cue ball to make sure it's rolling. Because if it's sliding when it gets there, it's going to go off at a completely different angle. So you're shooting a little bit above center on the cue ball, and you're aiming right there. And I'm going to show you where to aim. You're aiming right there. Okay?
Okay.
And you need to hit it hard enough to get it to the rail. There you go. Beautiful.
I'm thinking of hitting it here, like this, and will that come and break the,
You have about probably a 10% chance of breaking that ball out from there. What's the natural roll going to do, Bill? What's the 30 and 90 degree rule tell you?
But even if
if I
it
hit it
did
on this
break
side, it's
that
gonna
ball
hit here.
out, then he's free to run him out.
Right, but he's got to break it out
Right.
to do that.
I'm gonna hit the
It's such a
three
thin cut.
right here, I think, and
Okay.
very softly and leave it.
This is great. That's the last thing in the world you want to do. The 3 ball is your one protection against her running out. You know Karen's capable of running 4 balls in a row, right? Why would you open up the 8?
Because her ball's on the rail.
Right, but why would you open up the 8 ball for her? She's just going to play safe down there. She's going to barely tick that 15 ball, and you're going to have,
Yeah.
that's the worst idea of all. When your opponent's balls are tied up, make them be the one to break them out. Why would you break her ball out? Ever. Unless you know you can get out, and you don't know that you can get out.
So what you're saying is right now the 8 ball's mine. Don't break it out.
Yeah.
Say him. That's what you're saying to him.
He's, of course, the 8 ball belongs to both of you. So every time you look at the table, you think, if that 8 ball's tied up, that's good for me. If he's tied up with the 8 ball.
Right.
And if you're tied up with the 8 ball, that's good for him too. So the 8 ball's tied up right now. He does not want to move that 3 ball.
So then, should I try?
This is the ball you want to shoot because you can block this pocket with that ball.
Down here somewhere.
Yeah, you can make this ball, and then you can come over here, and then you might be forced to move the 3.
Well, then I could hit the 3 and come back this way.
Yeah, you have a better position to do it maybe. But the point is, you're probably not going to make the 5 ball.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is shoot the 6 ball in and try and get on the 5 ball. But I don't think you can break that 6 ball out. You'd have to put draw and spin on it and then be lucky. I wouldn't try to break that ball out personally from there. Well, I might, but it depends.
I think I'm just going to send it down that way.
Yeah, here's the problem though. You are giving her a shot at the 15 ball, and that's not a bad idea. A strategy is for you to leave her an easy shot on the 15 ball, thinking she might be dumb enough to shoot it in. Okay? And most threes will be dumb enough to
Probably would, yeah.
Yeah. So they shoot it in, and then they go, now what? I got to break out the 8 ball for my opponent.
Now, don't I have to worry about scratching over here?
No, not at all.
Can I do the 30% thing from back here? Or?
No, you have to be on the ball, but you can picture it. So I can take my hand and I can look at this. I stand here and point this, and I just say to myself, what if my hand was there? Well, I can see what it'll look like if my hand's there, right? Okay. There is a small amount of chance of scratching, but just don't hit it.
If I hit it low,
Don't try to make
real
it
low?
No, then you have to hit it hard. You're trying to block the pocket for her.
Try to make the shot.
You just want to. You'd love to have the 5 ball hit right here.
Yeah. But so I should try and stop the cue ball then?
No, Bill, you have to hit it too hard to do that. What do you mean stop it? What's the 90-degree rule tell you?
I mean just barely tunk it and.
Well, yeah, you can do that, but you have to hit it hard enough to get it to the rail.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're giving her ball in hand.
Yeah.
You need to make these decisions within 30 seconds.
That's perfection itself right there, Bill. That's perfection.
Sacrifice his 5 and get my 15 closer. Leave the cue ball probably right in here somewhere.
The problem is if you're trying to hit the 15 into it, your cue ball is going to end up way down there by that 6 ball. It's going to have so much momentum because this is such a thin cut.
Okay.
You see that?
So my other option is to leave the cue ball right in here.
Well, you can actually hit that fairly hard, cut it that way, and knock that 5 ball out of the pocket.
Okay.
You don't know exactly where the 15 ball is going to go, but it's going to be in a lot better place than it is now.
That 5 ball is going to go in.
Good. If it goes in, that's great. I don't think you can get it in, but if you could get it in, if it was right here, you'd be perfect. Because you would just put it in, and then he's screwed.
That's where it's going to be next.
Yeah. So you would love it if you could get it in. And I know you don't think that way. You don't get that.
Oh,
Now you wanted to hit that hard and knock that out of the way. Yeah. There's no advantage whatsoever for him to have that ball on the table. You want it off the table. Anytime you can make it, you try to make it.
So is this my opportunity?
And you're going to have the same opportunity after he shoots here. If you can get at that 15 ball, you want to hit it and move that 5 ball out of there. Sorry, Bill.
Is this my opportunity to shoot kind of semi-hard here? And
Do you want her to win the game, or do you want to win it?
I want to win it.
Well, why wouldn't you block this pocket for her? All you got to do is touch the 5 ball and go down this way, and it'll still be in front of her ball, right? I mean, you love having that 6 ball sitting there. The last thing you want to do is shoot that in, and the last thing you want to do is move that ball. So those are out of contention is even something to think about. You have to think about continuing to block this pocket.
here's the game.
And you do not want to make it.
This is the game right here. These 2 balls.
You want to hit it, Bill? You're hitting it way too. You need to cut it so thin, but not put it in the pocket.
Well, that's my
So you're talking about 1/8 of this ball hitting it, and you're going to knock it right into that point. That's what you want to aim at, is the center of this ball to go to this point. So soft, it's unbelievably soft. There you go. That's perfect.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pissed at it.
Imagine if you put that 6 ball and you've just lost all kinds of leverage for the game, because you can make that 6 ball from anywhere on the table when the time comes, right?
Yeah.
So why would you don't want to put it in the pocket? Now you got 2 balls perched in the pocket. Now it becomes a time when you might see. Now she moved the 3 ball for you. Now it's time for you to run out, Bill.
What I'm gonna do is shoot the 5 and
Yep.
have the cue ball come back down here.
So how do you do that?
I just hit it from the top,
The best way to get it down there is with low right and shoot it firmly.
low right.
Yeah, you're going to come like this and over there. Right now, if you try to cut that in, I'll tell you what's going to happen. That cue ball is going to come off here and go straight towards the 8 ball. You think you can cut it thin enough to have it go that way, right?
Yeah.
But when it hits that ball, it sends it in that direction. Now, you can get away with it maybe, but probably not. You're probably going to end up with a 15 ball right in between you and your 6 ball. The other way you can do this is to aim it right here and have it come off that ball. You want your cue ball down there.
Yeah, I want it down here.
Yeah. And I don't think I can. Let me see if I could do it. I would not be able to bring it down here by cutting it in like you're going to do, because that cue ball is going to go in that direction.
Yeah.
And since it wants to go in that direction, then you just let it go in that direction. And when you hit it low, the 90-degree rule will take you just like this, and right over here. Right?
Yeah.
You don't even need the right English, although the right English keeps you from going in this pocket. Just draw the ball and let it run. You might scratch, but you have a hell of a lot higher chance of getting on those other balls. See the direction it's taking?
Yeah, not quite hard.
It wasn't hard enough, but that's okay. You ended up short of that pocket. And this is actually makeable. You can cut the 3 into the 6, and if you miss, she still doesn't have a shot. And you were probably going to miss that. You undercut it, so now you just have to contact the 6. You're kind of hitting this point. I don't think you can make it.
Should I hit it kind of hard? Or?
I wouldn't. You have to be really careful though, because you're liable to scratch if you hit it too close to that ball. You want to hit it super soft and just a little bit to the right of this point, so that you're barely touching this ball and leaving it in the pocket.
With a little bit of left? Or?
No. The left will send it up towards the 15. You want center ball and just a little bit right of this point, so that you're coming in right like this and you barely touch that ball. You had some left on it. You had to barely touch that ball. You did pretty good. But Karen can get out from here because she's a good shot.
Yeah, but so
And this is one of those moments. You don't have any choice.
right, but I need to hit the 15 and bring the cue ball back.
You can do that for this pocket,
Right.
or you can roll it and plan on this pocket here, because there's room for it to go in there, but not very much room. Whichever one you feel more comfortable. The third thing you can do is hit the ball into that pocket, come here like this, and come back down there.
Into that pocket.
Into the side pocket, yeah, but it's a tough cut shot. But it's doable.
It is doable.
And if you make it, your cue ball is going to run just short of that pocket. It's going to come back down here, and you might have a cut shot up into that corner. So there, you have 3 possible shots.
I'm going for down there. Oh, shit.
That's okay. You left the cue ball beautifully.
Wow.
I don't know what that was.
So, Bill, you need to get out here. There's no safe. So you're aiming right here. And you need to hit it hard enough so the cue ball is going to hit that ball in and come back out here like this. And you have a danger here, and that's that the ball's going to be rolling when it gets here. When it hits this ball, you have a danger of it holding on the rail like this because it's going to have forward spin on it. So you want to hit it just, on mid-speed. You can't hit it. If you hit it too soft, you're screwed.
And hit it in the center of the cue ball? Or?
Center of the cue ball. You should always be hitting the center of the cue ball, except when you get a timeout. And you're aiming right towards this point right here. Actually, a little bit short of the point.
Oh, nicely done. Uh-oh.
Now, the typical thing that an APA 3 is going to do is hit that real soft, and by hitting it that firmly, you came out here where you at least had a chance to get on the 8, right?
Yeah.
And now you got 2 chances to scratch.
Well, actually, it's not a scratch shot at all. It's a scratch more likely down in that corner. But you got to try to cut this in.
In the here.
Yeah, and your cue ball is going to run way up table, so you're going to leave her a tough shot. If you hit that too thick, you scratch. If you hit it just right, there's no chance of scratching. There you go.
Good shot.
That's good shooting, huh? Good shooting, Bill.
Thank you.
I'll rack them for you guys. You just got to see these things over and over again, Karen, and it'll start to click what I'm doing, like having that 3 ball locked up with the 8 and the power of that for your towards your win. The power of understanding why you do or do not try to break that ball out. And the more you see it, it'll become like, oh yeah, that's obvious now to me.
Last time I made 3 balls, this time.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
She's such a good shot maker.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm going, right, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that.
Now, there's 0 chance that Bill's going to run out, so you can make balls now.
The when
I hate to say that,
No,
but it's
no,
true.
I
Yeah,
understand. When I
especially with that.
I tend to not hit it as hard as I can. I
You
kinda
don't
like
want to hit
them
it
all
as hard
messed-
as you can.
I kind of like them all messed together.
Especially when you're playing the higher skill player, you don't want them broken up very much. That's okay. You opened up your 5 ball.
So you need solids.
Well, I'm glad I didn't make that shot because I wouldn't have had anything else.
Oh, good. What? Yes, please.
I'm happy to hear you say that. You're glad you didn't make a ball. Okay, you have a chance to own a pocket here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it with the 7.
Yes. And you'll possibly bump the 5.
Oh, I'm good.
That's okay. You blocked up that pocket for him. But you wanted to shoot it right over here, right? And have it end up right in front of here.
I have not bridged my old form with the new form and brought accuracy with it.
Yeah, well, that's always the case when you start to change.
Now is not the time to practice.
Right, now is not the time to practice your fundamentals. You just do the best you can. And if it means going back to your previous feeling, that's fine because you're a good shot maker. It is important to point out we're working on tactics right now for a playoff tonight. We do not have time to improve any fundamentals at all.
Bump both of these into that, and really own the pocket.
Yep,
Leave the cue ball
absolutely.
here
Yep.
somewhere.
That's excellent.
That shouldn't give him too much. Or I could cut that into there, but my chances are...
Yeah, no, you're just going to send the cue ball wild when you do that because it's such a cut shot. And you only have a 50-50 chance of making it.
So I want to hit a little bit of this ball. Do I not? No. 'Cause
Anything
that-
you can do to cluster those balls over in that corner and get, the main thing is to get your cue ball in the end rail.
Oh, but I didn't get my cue ball in there.
It's okay. At this stage of the game, it's about rearranging balls. You can't run out. He can't run out. The game's not going to end. You can hand over innings to your opponent.
And now you're screwed.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm playing
Trying to
safe.
send that 10 in
Hit
there.
this and roll my,
Where's 10 going to go?
it's gonna come back over here.
And it's going to bump into the 5 and 8. That 10 ball's right now in a position where you can own this pocket if you can get on that side of it by shooting right here. It's a powerful ball right now, in my opinion. And that 12 ball is in a bad position, so why not just bump the 12 ball? Yeah, leave her on the end
Still
rail.
leave it down there.
Leave it on the end rail, yep,
Yeah, it's a simpler way to leave the cue ball down there.
yep.
And it's not cupped on
That 10 ball is powerful right now because if you're here or anywhere in here, all the way out to here, you can bump that 10 ball and knock her 7 over and cluster it and put the 10 ball right in here.
Yeah.
So you don't want to move that 10 ball, I don't think. Okay? That's okay. Because you're not blocking anything with that 9 ball, so it's fine that it went in.
Should I shoot the 15?
So he could use the 15 the same
The
way?
15's great because it's a hard ball for you to make. You might as well get it down there by that cluster or get it in the pocket, either one.
Or would he leave it in front of the side pocket?
No, that's too hard to do. That's a touch shot. Best thing to do is send it down there with those other balls. Okay, and if you make it, that's fine. Now you can do that 10 ball shot.
Yeah.
Your 11 and 12 are both makeable, so you don't want to move them. You want to send that 10 ball into the rail right here and have it bump the 7 out.
So he wouldn't try to get this one
Nope.
closer to one of these pockets and still leave that cue ball down?
No, because it's such a cut shot. He can't keep the cue ball down here and make that ball.
No, but he could get it closer.
He could. I mean, that's a doable shot. But I like this better. This is the pocket we're battling for right now. There you go. You just won the battle for the time being. See how powerful that is? Leaving that 10 ball there. Put you in a very powerful position.
I could probably get that 4 down there, block that pocket, leave the cue ball right in here.
I like that. Now, if it's me at my skill level right now, I'm going to shoot that 4 ball in and break up that cluster of balls.
No, that's pretty good.
Except for the 4 sitting there on the rail.
Good shot. Yeah, you don't want to make that 12 ball now. That's your ball that you can fuss with while you're waiting to get at these balls.
Well, it wasn't too bad.
For you.
Don't go in.
Well, you actually wanted to make that
Yeah,
ball,
'cause then you
Bill.
could have hit the 10.
You can run out from there.
Oh, that's true.
All your balls are makeable. When you see all your balls are makeable, that's the time you start thinking about running out.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity there to make that ball and then shoot this ball and try and send the cue ball down there by the 12 ball. You got to see the difference.
Yeah.
Can I get out? Versus I can't get out, so then I'm going to play safe. If I can get out, I'm going to go for
The
it.
first question is always, can I get out?
Can you get out? Are all your balls pocketable at a reasonable level for your skill level?
Yeah.
And they were.
Yeah.
I can both 4 hard enough to knock 13 out of there. The cue ball's going to be in here somewhere.
Yep.
That might work to block him from there and give him a hard shot
Yep.
there.
If you can get that 13 ball in the center of the rail here, that's great. And you take ownership of that pocket while you're doing it. It's okay. It worked out.
Right. So
Okay,
you
Bill,
have the
you
ball
can. You are no longer in a position to run out, Bill.
Doesn't he have ball in hand?
No. No, you hit the 2 ball and it went to the rail.
Oh.
You see that, Bill? You no longer run out, so now you play safe again. Excellent. You got the cue ball into a great position there.
So I can squeak that 7 past that 10.
Absolutely, that's your shot.
That's what I was trying
You want to own that pocket. You can't make it, but you can own the pocket. Well, you can make it. Okay, so now you got to kind of go for it.
I can send 2 down there and knock that out of there and own that pocket.
You can, but there's a very powerful thing that I think you have the skill to do. And that's to shoot the 1 at this pocket and draw it into the 10 and make the 10. You see that?
Yeah,
You have the skill to do this.
yeah, do that.
I'm not quite sure that you can do it, though, now that I look at it.
But if the 10 doesn't go, that's okay.
You'd like the 10 to go to, because your 2 ball is blocked by it. No, I don't think you can do it. But it's still not a bad shot, because if you can make the 1 ball, you've cleared it out of here. If you bump the 13 ball, you make it more difficult for him.
Well, let's give it a shot. Well, that didn't work.
Well, no, it did. You blocked his pocket.
Yeah.
He can't get out.
And I can't get in.
Neither one of you can get out. And so now that's the new situation you're in. Neither one of you can get out. So what do you do?
And I almost can't play safe without making the ball.
Now, I'll tell you, 98 times out of 100, if you're playing a 3 that's not getting coached, they're going to make that ball, they're going to make that ball, and then they're going to go, now what? And you're going to be in a great situation.
Yeah.
But Bill's not going to do that. And these games are taking a lot longer because both sides are playing a real game.
Yeah.
And usually both sides aren't playing a real game. One side's trying to make all the balls they can. And that's what you're playing off of. So when I say you're playing a real game, I mean a full game, which includes both offense and defense. Most low handicap players are just trying to make whatever ball they can, and they're not thinking about the complete game. Perfect. They're like a football team that only puts an offensive team on the field and doesn't put any defense on the field.
So I could hit the 2, get it in behind that, whoever that is. It's gonna have to be oh so light.
Yeah, your hope is that you can keep that 13 ball hidden while you're playing the 4. Okay, that's a doable shot.
Yeah, just light. I don't want to make it.
Right, you don't want to make it. You want it to block that pocket. There's a better shot for you, but that'll do. See? Perfect. You just reverse the fortunes.
Yeah.
So again, 98 times out of 100, the 3 is going to make both of those balls.
The short bottles. Yeah, there's 3 in there cold
What was the better shot?
back there.
The better shot was to knock his 10 in with the 3 ball and leave his ball blocked over there. But this shot worked fine. Now you have a real clear shot to do, Bill. It's a killer shot.
That's why it's not going into one area.
Well, I don't see it.
It's a game-winning shot. You come right here like this. You shoot that 13 ball and leave the cue ball right here. Just stop it. And now that gets your 13 ball out, and she doesn't have a shot except for the long shot at the 5 ball.
Well, I kind of thought about that, but then I thought the 13 would bounce into it.
So what? So what? It's in a terrible position now. Almost anywhere the 13 ball goes is a better position than it's in now.
Yeah.
This is your chance to get it to bump into those balls.
Back there. No, you have a big one. Behind the bar.
Very powerful. Now you have a clear advantage to this game now by doing that. But Karen's completely capable of making balls here.
Yeah, they're all out in the open.
And Karen, you have to start, this is one of those moments, you now have to start making balls. You have no save. So what do you see, Bill?
Shoot the 10 here. Then depending on where. Can I hit it light enough to shoot?
Yeah, you want to hit it really light and kind of full. So your cue ball stays right in this area, and then you can run that down there, shoot the 12, and then get on the 8. Yeah, this is one of those times when he has to try to get out, because he can. When you only got 3 balls left and you can get out, do it.
I hit it a little more than I wanted to.
And both of you are in that condition now where you have to try to get out. Unless he screws this up.
Which I did. Do that against a 6, I'm dead.
I can hit the 5.
Yeah, it's over with against a 6 or a 7 probably.
I can hit the 5. I can come back maybe with a 3 or bury that 1 down there.
Well, I think you're going to try to get out. And there's a couple of ways to do it. You can shoot the 5, but when you shoot the 5, you're going to end up down in here somewhere. Now, you might then be able to make the 1
He's got
over
these
there.
2 pockets blocked, so I want to be shooting that way.
Yeah, but this ball goes in that pocket. That's not blocked. But what you can do is what your instinct was, I think,
Shoot the 5.
is, yeah, you're going to run into the 1 probably. No, you could run past it. So just shoot the 5 hard enough so your cue ball ends up right over in here somewhere. It might bump the 1, in which case it might open up that pocket too. The other thing you can do is shoot the 4 ball and try and get a better, no you can't, okay. But you can also shoot the 3 ball and possibly get on the 1 in this side. You see that? Okay.
JP was in here last night with his gift. Remember his gift? Really? The world was just like him.
Okay, you're still good. You just got to keep trying to get out. Beautiful. She's such a good shot maker.
Um, 2 into the 4.
I wouldn't.
1.
The 1 ball into the 12 and leave the cue ball on the end rail. You want to try and pocket that 12 ball.
I do.
Yeah. If you can pocket the 12 ball, you put your 1, you're aiming your 1 right here. You leave the cue ball right here and he's got to do a bank shot.
So why wouldn't I try to leave the 1 like right here?
Because then his 12 will be wide open. If you can pocket his 12, that's a huge advantage to you. And even if you don't pocket it, you might, you know, block the pocket.
Wow, I would never see that.
For a couple of 3 brains over here.
Yeah, I thought you told me to run out.
Well, but you ended up in a new situation where you can't because you can't get at this ball right now. How are you going to run out? Okay, tell me how you're going to run out. That was the last shot. You both had the capability of running out. At your level, you don't have the capability of running out right now, except unless you get very lucky, because this is a super hard shot.
Even though I only have to bump it.
Go for it. I can guarantee you this is a much higher percentage chance for you to win. And the reason is, no matter what happens with this ball, if you can get your cue ball on this end rail, you've got a big advantage.
What about Jim? I mean,
You really want to pocket
it
it.
looks like she could
I
make
really
it.
want to
right
pocket
here.
what?
No, she can't make it there, Bill. Look,
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
if I put this right in line with the pocket, look at how much room you have. You have no room. This cannot go in that pocket.
Okay.
If
I don't wanna put
if
it
it's
in
over
the
here,
pocket.
it hits the 12 ball. If it's over here, it hits the point. You'd have to hit
If it
it.
hits the point, doesn't it come off and hit the 12 and go in?
That's a possibility, but how hard is it to hit the point compared to hitting this? If you hit the 12 ball here, 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 it's going to go in. If you hit it this way and put the 12 ball in, this ball,
All right.
that ball comes across here.
I'll try not to get CD card. Yeah, and we'll get me one. Okay, so, Tuesday.
Almost. But see, if you'd have made that, look where he would be. And he's still got to get that 8 ball after he gets these 2 balls. And he's still got to get on that ball. And that's not easy. So you made the highest percentage effort that you could make. This is a much lower percentage. And you still have the 1 ball to deal with even if you'd have made this. And you don't know where the 2 ball is going to go. But if that had just rolled in another millimeter, you'd be in a powerful setting.
Okay, so if I shoot the 12 here, the cue ball is going to come out, and maybe I can shoot the 13.
Maybe.
And if I hit 13, the cue ball could go up here.
Your best chance to run out now, Bill.
Yeah.
You want to cut the 12 ball over this way and have the cue ball come right back over there. You're cutting it thin. That was too thick. Too thick. See, you're still not, it's still not over with. You're playing a 3.
Now this is where my weak,
Slicing.
yeah, banking game.
Well, you don't want to bank it. Whenever you have a cut shot, it's better than a bank shot.
Okay.
Especially if you bank that, where's the cue ball going to end up?
Well,
It's going to
go
get
up
stuck.
here.
First of all, it's not bankable unless you put a lot of right English on it.
Yeah. But if I cut it, then it's going to come back down here.
Yep.
But I have to worry about.
If you cut it, you have a good chance of having a cut shot at the 8. Your cue ball's going to run back and forth across the table. And if you miss the cut like that, you still leave your ball over by that pocket.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go for the one
Yeah.
there.
In this case, you just got to go with your instincts. But how are you going to get on another ball from the 1?
If I can get the cue ball to come out here far enough,
Okay.
I can get the 2.
Yep.
Or
Yep. Yep.
But
Nice shot.
good enough. Now I got to leave the cue ball in here, which shouldn't be too hard because that's not much of a.
Well, it's quite a bit of a cut shot. In other words, you're going to have to hit it like this. So the way to see these balls is to come right over here and look at this,
Well, I
Karen.
know I got to hit it like that.
So that's the thinnest, or I mean the thickest you can hit it is right there. If you hit it here, it'll still go all the way over to here, it'll still go. The thicker you hit it, the more chance you have of holding up here. But I don't think you can. I don't think I would be able to. And that's what I was just about to say, is the best way to get on this 2 ball was to hit that hard enough to go all the way up and down the table, because you couldn't hold it here. That was impossible.
So now I want to leave the cue ball this side of that ball.
That's a good idea. Even better would be to leave it right behind the 8 ball. But whatever is more comfortable for you. But yeah, you're going to leave him a bank shot. Good. You got that pocket covered.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
And he really has nothing. That was a good shot.
Oh,
Very good.
I got
Now you got to kick it in. That's the only shot you have. I mean, you could try to kick it here, but this is not a hard shot to get that ball in the pocket.
Down there and back?
Yeah.
What am I in?
You got to kick it either way. This is the easiest kick, is to come here. And that's probably what I would tell you if I gave you a timeout.
To not make it, just bury
Right.
it in here?
You want to hit it right over to here and light enough so your cue ball ends up right where the 2 ball is now. If it was me, I would kick it that way, but I don't think you should. That's just about perfect.
yeah.
All right, so
So you're in a great situation because you can try to make it, and all your cue ball's going to do is run back and forth here. So no matter what happens, you're going to leave him a long shot.
super light.
It really doesn't matter how hard you hit it. You want to cut it thin though and make it. There you go. Okay, you're covered. See, you had about an 80% chance of leaving him, about almost 100% chance of leaving him difficult, but you left him impossible. Okay, Bill. Right now you're aimed to go right into that pocket.
I can see that.
So I got
You have to be over here.
here.
Yeah, because if you aim to go into that pocket, you miss this ball by that far. So you have to imagine
Okay.
coming back
I gotta hurry,
like this. There you go. See how far off you were?
Yeah.
Okay, now Karen can get out here.
That's where the bank game, I got to practice bank.
That's a kick, not a bank.
Yeah, that too.
That too, he says.
Oh! I used all my aiming tips.
So we had a real good angle on this shot, and we want to take a look back at it, and we see some real fundamental issues with Karen setting up on this shot. First and foremost, the issue is not likely to be aim. Aiming is pretty easy for Karen. She knows how to aim. The problem is with her setup. Look at her grip. The thumb is on top of the stick. There's no way she can stroke this ball without her thumb getting in the way of the forward stroking motion. Her hand is open. She's holding with her fingertips instead of having a nice loop for her fingers. Her arm is too far back. And look at how the sideways motion she has when she strokes the ball. Her hand actually goes sideways more than it does forward. So even though Karen has a great eye, she's a good shot maker when she strokes the ball properly, this grip and arm position are going to betray her whenever she's under stress, and she is not going to be consistent. So we've got to get this fundamental position at the beginning of the stroke under control. It's okay. This is a tough game. And that was a tough shot. That was a shot you make about 30% of the time. Now, Bill's in a hurry. You didn't use your usual, do your usual setup. What are you doing?
We have to meet some people at Schuler's at 1 o'clock, and I have to go pick up Ann.
What time is it?
12:13.
Well, you don't have to finish this game. You know. Okay, Bill, you got to make this bank shot. That's your only chance. Although you could, if you can figure out a way to leave the cue ball over here somewhere. No, she's still going to be able to cut it in. Karen's quite capable of making that shot.
Of course, I haven't hit it the last 2 times.
No!
Oh!
You just made it tougher on her.
Little.
You guys are going to do great. You guys are doing really good. You just played 2 games that were the maximum. You're doing the best shot on the table
Now-
every time. That's why they lasted so
Who am I
long.
gonna end up playing, you know?
I don't know yet.
But the problem is you can't talk it through.
I'm probably going to have him play Kevin
Oh, really?
because Bill's quite capable, and Bill's used to playing a higher level player like me. So Bill's beat me many times, so he knows it can be done. Karen is in a different situation. Karen doesn't want to play a high skill player. Robin, do you want to play Karen? I think it's better for you to play a higher level player now and try some of these same techniques.